Team, you are awesome. To start this video, I just want to say after yesterday's video when we featured Michael Mills and his wheelchair initiative to get people who are less fortunate and in chairs that are not suited to the sport, in chairs that they can do CrossFit in, you guys so far have raised over $1,000, which is one whole chair for someone out there to participate in CrossFit in and be safe. You guys are the strongest team on YouTube. Friggin' smash that like button, pat yourself on the back. I just wanted to say you guys are legends. I can always rely on you guys, honestly. Anyway, welcome to the news. Now, before we actually get into today's CrossFit news, I just want to talk about 3 pieces of news that have happened over the last couple of days here in Europe and especially in the UK. 1, we're having a heat wave. Here over the past couple of days, it's been 34 degrees Celsius, which for you guys over there in America is 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you're probably like, oh, that's not that bad. UK heat is different heat, and 2, we don't have air conditioning in any of our houses unless you're a millionaire. This heat wave hasn't just hit the UK, it's hit the whole of Europe. Paris yesterday was 41 degrees Celsius, 105 Fahrenheit. If there's one thing that us Brits are good at, we're good at moaning about something that we don't get very often. It's either too hot, it's way too sunny, my ice cream wasn't big enough, I'm sweating too much. Meme that's been going around the UK, this is how we've all been sleeping. It's not far wrong. The second bit of news, I kind of like it. It's the future. Frankie Zapata. First of all, what a name. Secondly, he is the inventor of the flyboard. A couple of days ago, he actually tried to cross the English Channel on a flyboard. Of the 22-mile journey, he only managed to do 11 of them, and the only reason why he fell into the water and kind of failed was because at the 11-mile mark, he had to refuel his board, and then the water was too choppy. They couldn't actually refuel his board from the boat, and he just went crashing into the water. However, when can I get on one of these flyboards? Look how crazy this looks. And then the third bit of news is that we do now have a new Prime Minister in the form of Boris Johnson. Got to admire the dude for his sporting capabilities. His laid-back mannerisms.
Our members have decided they have...
His very educated insults.
Supine protoplasmic invertebrate jellies.
The way that he just kind of likes to enjoy himself. The way that he seems perfectly clueless to everything. And one of my favourite clips of all time of Boris Johnson is when he got asked, what does he do in his spare time?
I like to paint, or I make things. I like to...
What do you make?
I have a thing where I make models of... when I was in London, we built a beautiful... I make buses.
Yes, that is the man that is now running our country. First Trump, now Boris. As an actual British man, I do look at Boris and I think like, well, you know... I don't know what I think. But anyway, moving on to CrossFit news. I'm going to jump on this bandwagon because I feel like, why not? Ben Smith. He has been to the CrossFit Games 10 times. This year it would have been his 11th. Earlier in the year, he qualified for the Dubai Fitness Championships, but later pulled out due to undergoing knee surgery. He had a couple of tears, a couple of cysts, and this was causing kind of it to rub the cartilage within his knee. So he got it fixed. Mid-recovery, he finished like 4,500th in the world in the Open. He kind of just did it with a bandaged up knee. Off the back of that, he had a kind of month hard training before he then went to the Rogue Invitational where he finished 14th, and then his best chance of qualifying probably was the Granite Games, which was only 12 days later where he finished 10th. The wildcard this year has caused a lot of controversy. Hunter McIntyre, a guy that finished around 1,000th in the Open, with his top score being 113th in the world in the row and wall balls, which you'd expect from a guy that is a endurance athlete, a tall guy. His worst placing being 8,800th in the world in the strict handstand push-up workout. At the start of this year in the rulebook there was 4 wildcards. That's one of them used, but there's still 3 of them available. Now, CrossFit themselves don't have to use all of the wildcards, but there has been a lot of social media over the last couple of days after Ben Smith posted this.
Yeah. Come on. Good, strong legs. Yeah. Let's go.
The 330-pound lift where he said, starting to feel like myself again. I mean, I'd go throw down hard next week if the wild card opportunity came up. What do y'all think? And a post just before that was him snatching 290.
Yeah! Let's go!
People to jump on the bandwagon and try and get him there. News outlets like the Morning Chalk Up, the Barbell Spin, Box Rocks, and then athletes like the GOAT Rich Froning, Noah Olsen, Jason Khalipa, all try and give it a shot. So I'm going to make a bit of noise on this vlog and go to Ben Smith's post, like his post, hashtag Ben11. And CrossFit, if you watch this vlog, give him a wild card. He would set an all-time record going to the games this year, as he would have made 11 consecutive appearances. But anyway, in other news over the last couple of days, we've had our first look at another couple of colorways of the Metcon 5s. We've got a new vibrant blue color. We got this, as Jazz called it, mermaid vibe. And then we've got our first look at the Nike Metcon 5 Plus, the band colorway. This shoe does look pretty simple. It's a red, white and black shoe, but there is some history with this colorway. When the first Nike Metcon was released in 2016, Reebok, the official CrossFit sponsor, quickly implemented apparel and equipment regulation, ensuring that CrossFit athletes could not wear Nike shoes during competition. And in response to that, Nike actually released a black and red band colorway, basically a cool little marketing tool to say, screw you, we're still going to make them. And this year, obviously being the first year that athletes can wear any shoes they like out there on the competition floor, they've brought back this colorway for the Nike athletes to wear if they want to. I think they look pretty fresh. I think they look good. On a separate note to this, the Morning Chalk Up actually put up an article this week that was pretty interesting to see how much it's actually going to cost these athletes to participate. Some teams are looking at upwards of $2,850 per athlete, and that number can drastically rise. As quoted by the fittest in Hong Kong, Ant Haynes, it's going to cost him about $10,000 to compete. Ireland's Emma McQuaid, it's going to cost her nearly $5,000. And when looking at this new season, this new CrossFit season, yes, it can be more profitable for the athletes at the higher level, with the big prize pools at Dubai, Waterpalooza, the Granite Games, the Rogue Invitational, but also at increased travel costs. Basically, unless you're winning some of these big competitions, you're going to need a lot of help from your sponsors if you want to make this a full-time job. Basically, being a CrossFit athlete. The final part of the article actually said a large majority of athletes aren't actually coming to Madison to balance their books. At the end of the day, it's the pinnacle of the sport and athletes have already paid the price physically to qualify, and they don't seem too phased forking out a bit of coin to compete. And I fully get that. If I qualified for the CrossFit Games, being a national champ or being wherever I was in the open, I would do whatever it takes to go and at least go stand on that CrossFit Games floor and be like, I did it. Because very few people can actually say that they've done that. Also, it's that time of year where we look at Dave Castro's profile. This year he's been a lot more quiet around the open and around the games, but he's still been putting up little hints and tricks and tips here, there and everywhere. First one was about this speed bag. The man himself did for 10 minutes, 1 minute of burpees and then 1 minute of speed bag. But down in the comments he said he wouldn't program this for affiliates and would never have the games athletes do it unless they wanted a kick-ass spoof reel.
Zero!
You never know what's going to happen at the CrossFit Games. In another breath, he actually did put up a post the other day. He said this was a good session earlier at the CrossFit Ranch, had a busy day testing games events. Basically, he managed to squeeze in a workout before leaving the house. He was pressed for time, but decided to do something fast and with some bike. 21:15, 9 overhead squats and 24-inch box jumps. And if I wanted to be quick, for a games event, I'd probably do 145 to 155 pounds. I would find a weight that athletes could do unbroken and quick. It took me 438. Don't rebound, stepping down and up. Basically, that could be an event that we see over the weekend. 21:15, 9 overhead squats, box jumps. Looking at that, 155 for the overhead squats would be good for the males, and maybe a 32-inch box jump, maybe after some bike sprints. But also a quick bit of news regarding the events at the CrossFit Games. We thought we may see a run, swim, run for event 1, but according to the City of Madison's Information Centre, the CrossFit Games submitted a street use permit application for Sunday, August the 4th. In the application, CrossFit requested a street closure near the entrance to Lake Montana. Event begins at 9 AM on Sunday and run through till 1 PM. CrossFit also blocked off an area near the entrance to the Lake Montana for a viewing area large enough for an attendance of around 2,000 people. So, looks like the swim event or the open water event or the paddleboard event or whatever they're going to do within the lake, that's going to be on the Sunday, when we probably only have 10 athletes in each group left and maybe only 5 teams. And then in viewing news, Rogue Fitness announced that the Rogue Iron Game, a new live show dedicated to strength conditioning and iron game sports, will turn its attention to the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games. The show will feature a panel of expert commentators and analysts, including Sean Woodland, Chase Ingram, and past Games athletes Dan Bailey and Annie Sakamoto, and more. Basically, they'll be breaking down the action 3 times a day, live from the 2019 CrossFit Games. Is that the official feed? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what they're doing with the official feed. This year, I believe it's a live world feed. So where they distribute the feed of the event going on live to different people to be able to commentate over live, either in their own country's language or like Rogue are doing, kind of just doing more of a show around it. And in the last 24 hours, we've seen Tia Claire Toomey turn up and arrive in Madison. We've seen Matt Fraser do his last track session before he then leaves for Madison. All the games athletes are slowly making Madison the fittest place to stand on earth. Like if you went there next week and just stood in the middle of Madison, you'd be like, I don't feel fit anymore. And then a few of you wanted me to comment on the Graham Holmberg's gym banning people taking their shirts off and girls wearing booty shorts. The reason behind this is they put up a post saying, please consider the movements we do in CrossFit during the classes, deadlift, toes to bar, handstand push-ups, and how these movements reveal certain areas of the body to others in the class. Our mission is to create an environment where we can display our fitness and success, but allow every member to feel comfortable in their CrossFit journey. My take on this is like, it was kind of weird actually coming from bodybuilding where you're in commercial gyms all the time and you wear clothes to then going into CrossFit and seeing people taking off their tops, working out shirtless, which I now enjoy. Like it's great, like especially when it's heat wave. Instead of getting all my clothes just sweaty, I just sweat it out. I wear my shorts. It's great. Boot shorts are obviously very known in CrossFit and some people go to the extremes with them. Basically it's his business. He can do whatever he wants with the business. You wouldn't go into commercial gym, start training and then take your t-shirt off. But yes, you can do it at CrossFit. But if that gym doesn't want you to do that and it's their rules, then it's their rules. If you don't like it, then go somewhere else. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? And on that note, today we're going to end the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Smash that like button. You guys rock. It really does help the video. And hopefully we'll see a lot of you in Madison. And we'll probably do another news video before that, so we'll see you before that. But anyway, yeah, we'll hopefully see you at Madison. We're going to do a meetup at the Romwad stand. They've got a huge like jungle gym that you can like play on. And like I'm going to set a time and then you can, if you want to, you can try and beat me at it. Going to be a load of fun.